Hi everyone, welcome to another YouTube live session on the Pinkfish Studio channel. I see that some of you already joined. Hi Jane, hi Laura. I'm going to wait a few moments for more people to join and to find us here. I hope you're all doing well. And yeah, it's nice to be doing a YouTube live video while it's still kind of light outside, because usually when I do these YouTube lives, or at least the past few months during winter time, it was already dark outside and 7 p.m. But since you guys already had, what's it called? You already changed to summertime. It's now only 6 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. And it's nice and light outside, which brightens my mood. So yeah, I'm going to show you in a second what I'm going to be working with today. Hi, Heather. So behind the Pinkfish Studio name, it's Heather joining us. I know, look at that daylight. Seriously, it makes such a difference for my crafty inspiration, everything, motivation. Daylight savings time. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Thank you, Kay. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Hi, Wanda, Sandra, Robin. So yeah, today we are going to, or I'm going to be working with the new Picture Perfect collection that was also added to the Pinkfish Studio shop, I believe, yesterday or if 2 days ago, something like that. So it's also available in the shop. I linked everything in the description below. And I'm going to flip my camera so that you can see what it actually looks like. Okay, so here it is. This is what I'll be working with today. But two things to note. So first of all, I don't have the full collection with me. I'm missing the enamel dots, and there are also some really pretty vellum pockets with tags, like tag inserts. And give my camera a second. It should adjust lighting as I go. So it looks a bit dark right now, I know that. But I think it should catch up in a moment. If not, I'm going to change it manually, but I'm going to give it a second. So anyway, I'm missing the enamel dots and I'm missing the vellum pockets. And second thing, as you might be able to tell, this is the collection in Spanish. So the 3 new collections that Pinkfish Studio released were released in English and also in Spanish. So, and I only have the Spanish version right now. So that's what I'm going to be working with today. However, the only difference from the English version is that the sentiments on the stickers and die cuts and all of that. Oh, sorry, die cuts. There it is, the ephemera. I do have the ephemera. So all of the phrases and words, they were translated to Spanish, but the designs themselves are exactly the same. So you could easily just do everything that I show you today with the English version. And the patterns, I believe there are only 2 papers in this collection that have words on them. So all of the other papers are also exactly the same. So to make up for the missing enamel dots, I just grabbed a few Pinkfish Studio enamel dots from my stash that I had left over from different collections. I believe every one of us has those. These are actually from the new collection from the Simple Things, which is my collection. And so I should be able to find, some that match this collection, because I can't do a layer without enamel dots. That doesn't work for me. Yeah, Jane, I do speak Spanish. So I can, so it actually, I can work with this collection knowing what I'm putting down and not accidentally putting a weird sentiment to a photo, putting a weird sentiment to a photo that doesn't fit. So yes, I do speak Spanish. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to flip through the papers real quick, and I believe my camera caught up. And I think the lighting should be okay. All right, so this collection was designed by Cassidy Demkov, and I think you can also tell like the florals and everything is quite her style, and it's very pretty. So I'm just going to flip through the papers real quick. They are not in the exact order that they came in because I already flipped through them. So yeah, this is one of the papers that has writing on it, but again, it's just basically the translation or something very similar because sometimes there is no exact translation. Some really nice florals, some more geometric designs. This one would be really pretty cut out like around this border and then used as a piece that you could put on a white background or something. More florals. Also great florals for fussy cutting. This one has a really nice blue color. It's light blue with dark blue flowers. I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but it's really pretty. Great colors, I think. Great for spring as well. This one is one of my favorites. And then this is the second one and has words and writing on it. And my other favorite paper, like I love the background, but you could also fussy cut the frames here. And because you can already see that there's some, it's supposed to look like stitching. So some of these would be really fun if you added hand stitching on these marks here, which is actually something that I'm planning on doing, not today, but in a, on a different project. And this is also really nice. And I know that I want to use this paper as a border at some point. Maybe not today, we will see, but I think it looks really, really nice. It's a really nice pink. And these florals are also very pretty. Oh, I completely forgot to tell you. See, normally I do my housekeeping things at the beginning. What I forgot to tell you is that we are giving away a $15 gift card as usual to one of you, to one of our viewers. And all you have to do to be eligible to win is be active in the chat. So every time you write something, you post something in the chat is another entry. And at the end of this session, Heather is going to randomly pick a winner who is going to receive the $15 gift card that they can spend in the Pinkfresh Studio shop. So, okay. I'm just checking real quick if I missed anything. Okay. I'm sorry for my camera, kind of adjusting the lighting as I go. This is the only downside to this kind of time where, with the like evening, because now sun is going down and everything. So it is lighting is a bit wonky. So I apologize for that, but there's not a lot I can do about that. So yeah. And then for my photo, you can see that I have quite a lot of photos here. I'm not going to use them all on the same page, obviously, but I really couldn't pick. And I also don't have like a very clear idea for my design today. I have to admit, often I have quite a good idea of, or a rough idea at least, of what I want to do. I have to admit today, I have, we will see. Yeah, I would love to show you the vellum pockets, but I don't have them right now because I also was looking forward to them because I mean, vellum pockets, I don't know. I'm quite sure that they are going to be really, really pretty. Okay. All right. So there are a few things. So one embellishment in this collection that is new or, not something that is usually in a collection are these tags. And there are 8 tags in this set with 8 different designs. 4 of them have this scallop border with the punched holes, and 4 have just a straight border. And some of them have just some illustrations, some have some sentiments. So my favorite part, or happy memories, write your own story, just florals, love, and a special day. And I thought I would incorporate those, or at least some of those, on my page today, maybe. And another thing that I thought I might do is use one or both of these papers in some way, probably some other papers as well, but you know, I really like the stripes, and I couldn't, like, I was thinking about maybe actually cutting this paper up, like cutting all of the individual stripes out, and then using those in some way to arrange them on my paper. Then this one would be really pretty as well, to use the stripes in some way, maybe for a fringe. But I'm not sure if I want to do that today, because that's what I did for my layout for the making the best of it Instagram release hop. But I really love it, so we will see. So what I was thinking with these pockets, and also with, like, probably this, I'm leaning towards these photos. Or maybe this one. This one would also work really well with this collection, I think, but I was trying to do something where I use either multiple photos or a larger photo, because I know that a lot of people often comment that, or that a lot of designers for scrapbooking layouts, for, you know, on design teams, often use small photos and maybe just one photo. And I know that a lot of people like to document more photos on one page, or a large photo, something like that. So I was trying to do that more. So yeah. Oh, Debbie, that's so nice to hear. I hope you are enjoying the 3 collections, and I hope you're enjoying mine. So what I was thinking, maybe doing this one here, and actually leaving the photos as they are, so in a photo strip, so to speak, and maybe doing something like a little bit of a waterfall-ish look. I'm not going to incorporate, like, do an actual waterfall element that I'm not sure if you know what I mean. Most of you who have been scrapbooking for a long time probably know what I'm talking about. So waterfall element where you can pull at the bottom and everything kind of flips up. So you pull through the papers or through the pages, and they flip so you can see what's underneath. I'm not going to do that today, because I don't want to have that on my page, because it adds a little bit of bulk, which I usually don't, you know, I don't mind, because my pages are usually quite dimensional. But still, what I was thinking is maybe, you know, using maybe 3 or 4 of them, something like this, just stack them in the same, like, to repeat the size of my photo strip. And the fact that it's basically almost the same width was just a coincidence. So these photos were printed long before I even, you know, knew what I was going to do, or that I was going to use them today. So that was just a happy coincidence. And I can show you the waterfall, like what I'm talking about, just what it looks like, in a moment. But again, I'm probably not going to do it today. And I was thinking of maybe, you know, not using all of the cards, maybe just 3 or so, and then also using some of the papers instead, and then gluing them down only at the top, so that I can still flip them up and reveal what's underneath, so that I can have some hidden journaling. I could add another photo underneath, embellishments, and so on. So that was kind of one of the ideas. The other, as I said, was using those stripy papers for some sort of fringe. I'm still not, like, I can't really get, like, can't get the fringe idea thing out of my mind. So I'm thinking of maybe incorporating the fringe as one of the elements on the side so that I can still include it, but not have the whole page fringy. So let me think real quick what direction I want to go with. So let's say I'm going to use these photos and I want to use at least 3 of the cards. Let's see which of the cards I might use. So I'm thinking, so this one says love. So I'm thinking of using maybe this one and this one with the scallops on top would look really nice. And it also repeats this red. Maybe something like this. I'm not sure about the blue. I'm not sure if I want to include all of the colors or if I want to stay a bit more monochromatic-ish. Let me just check. I'm just checking if I missed any questions. Okay, if I missed anything, then please just ask again. Yeah, because it's sometimes a bit difficult to watch the screen and, think about what you're going to do, especially if you don't have a clear idea of what you want to do. I feel like I'm missing, let's see, 4. Oh, I'm sorry, I misspoke. So there's 5 cards with a straight edge and 3 cards with a scalloped edge or scalloped border. Sorry about that. Then again, if I do the fringe, I could include all of the colors and have it very colorful because, these photos, so even though they're black and white, I know that these photos were taken in the summer while we were in Italy, in Tuscany. It was, like summer, we were at we were getting ice cream. So, and it's of my son who's very, bright and bubbly and happy. So I'm thinking of including all of the colors. I tell you, I can't get this fringe idea out of my mind. Now I'm thinking of maybe doing a fringe instead of the cards, doing a fringe at this side. I can't get it out of my mind. But even if I did the fringe, I'm not sure. You know what? I'm going to start with the fringy part because I want to include fringe. How many times can I say that word? In some way on this page. So I will have to do it at some point during this live. So I might as well just start with it and get this idea out of my mind. And then we can move on. And I can stop saying fringe. Okay, so as I said, even if I'm going with the fringy idea, I want it to be the same sort of design. So I also want a strip down here or an element down here that's almost the same size as my photo. So I don't need to cut up the whole paper. Debbie, yeah, I mean, that could be a challenge, trying to see if I can actually do 2 layouts in this live session. Okay, so I'm only going to cut, what is it, about 3 3/4 inch strip from this paper, because as I said, I don't need to cut up the whole thing. And then I mean, they are not straight lines, where the colors meet, but I'm going to cut them roughly where the color changes. A little bit more towards the top, because since they're going to be layered on top of each other, you won't see that part. Okay. And now something that I think everyone needs to make their life easier. So there is a fringe die by Pink Fresh. I don't have it. It's in a package on its way to me, but I don't have it yet. So I will have to make do with scissors. But I'm going to use enamel. I just read enamel dots. I'm going to use fringe scissors because cutting all of these strips with regular scissors is going to take some time. So I think everyone needs a pair of fringe scissors. And top tip, don't buy fringe scissors from like a crafty brand. Check out the home, like kitchen aisle or something. These are herb scissors. And they are like, so I got these for not even €5, so roughly $5. And I think in the crafty section, they would be 15 to 20. So yeah, herb scissors. Oh, I don't have any heart-shaped enamel dots. I do have, like, in the other collection, in the simple things, there's a sheet with puffy stickers and also quite small puffy stickers, and there are quite a few hearts involved or included. So I could use some of those. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and cut into this to get the fringe going. Trying to, and since they are, well, fringe scissors, or they are herb scissors, so you could cut up your herbs quicker and easier. But the distance between the blades is the same, so you will get a very even fringe. With the die, you would get how would you say, maybe like a thinner fringe. So you can see that the single, what are they called? I don't know. They are relatively thick. So with the die, it would be thinner, but still, still better than doing every single cut by hand. So here's what I was thinking. So you could either, cut these and layer them in between the cards. So that would be an idea. Or, you can use this sheet, what you have left, to refer to the order that the strips were in. So with this one, I'm going to obviously have a shorter fringy border. And then you could start at the top here, or, at on the same height as the photos. I'm just going to go ahead and cut all of the colored strips, but that should be, relatively quick. I know it's not the most interesting thing to watch, but as I said, I couldn't get this idea out of my head, and I know that if I didn't do it, then I would try to, in the end, I wouldn't be happy, and I would try to incorporate it at the last minute. So I already cut the yellow, so then it's the light pink. And you can see that the different colored strips have different, or, different widths, heights, whatever. But since we are going to layer them on top of each other and underneath, you won't be able to tell that they are different. So, That's the thing. So with a single bladed scissor, regular scissor, Emily, even if, I was patient enough to do it I wouldn't get them even and it would drive me nuts. So yeah, fringe or herb scissors, it is. And just like Roxanne said, it's with a lot of things like that. If as soon as you put the word like crafting, stamping, card making, scrapbooking, whatever on it, it's automatically more expensive, even if it's the same storage box that you would find in the kitchen or bath or whatever section. So definitely check those out. It's the same, when you order a cake or flowers, as soon as you tell them that it's for a wedding, it's more expensive. And that's the last one. And that's it. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try it without the cards for a second. And I'm going to go ahead and so if you're wondering why there's a photo on the back and why I am gluing it down, I will tell you in a second. First, I'm going to just put this down so it doesn't move the whole time that I'm trying to put the fringe down. And I'm not usually one to measure, but since there are going to be two elements with the same width and height, I definitely want them to be, even. And normally I would definitely eyeball. Okay, so it's not glued down completely, just so that it doesn't move all the time while I'm trying to put the fringe down. So anyway, the reason why there is a photo on the back is that this photo and some of the others, so this one as well, was cut out from a photo book. So 2 years ago on Christmas, or for Christmas, we got our family a photo book with, photos of our son and of us, but mostly of our son, who was 2.5 years old at that point. And when they arrived, there was a misprint on the cover. And, it wasn't something that you could live with, or at least I couldn't. So we contacted the company. They admitted that it was, it was their fault. It was something to do with the design software anyway. So they sent us new ones with the corrected ones, and told us that we could do whatever we like with the ones with the misprint. So I thought, perfect, now I have 4 books, or we are going to keep one for ourselves because, I don't mind having one with a misprint for myself. But the other 3 I can use to cut out those photos because, they were printed, they are good quality and obviously photos that I want to document and want to remember. So now I have a ton of photos in lots of different sizes because obviously we also printed them quite large. And I can use them for scrapbooking. So yeah, that's the reason why, long story short, that's the reason why I have these photos and some of them are on the back. Okay. It's not perfect right now, but I just want to see if I want to continue with this idea or if I want to do something with the cards as well. But I gotta tell you, I love the fringe. I just love it. I don't know, it adds like instant texture, instant fun, instant, I don't know, and it just fits my son. And I don't know why, but it kind of reminds me of like different ice cream, what's it called? Balls? No, what is it called? Is it a ball of ice cream? No, what is it? Anyway, and some sprinkles, so yeah. So what we could do, I'm just going to try and see if, maybe just changing out one of the fringy pieces No, I don't like that. And I have to admit, I don't like the order that it was in. I prefer this one, I think. Even though on the original paper, you can see that the order is this, but I think I'm going to change it. Oh, I agree, Jane, but at the same time, I think it's going to drive me nuts, not having them all exactly the same. And even though I don't usually measure, there are things that, if they're not right, I don't know. I just can't live with it. So I think I'm actually going to go with the complete fringy thing. I don't think that I'm going to use any of the cards because it just feels like this kind of destroys this movement, I think. I think it would only work if, like I had it in the beginning, if maybe you put down, let's check real quick, just, just to try something out. If you would insert these in between. Like if you had mostly cards and then just include some of the fringe, I think that looks nice as well, because now we have different finishes. You have the scallops, you have fringe, the regular border. I think that would look really nice as well. But I think, at least for this photo, I think I actually like the design and I like the colors together. But I think just for this photo, I'm loving the kind of rainbow fringe because it just fits my son and, my memories of this moment so well. So I think I'm actually going to go with all fringe. And then I will have the cards for a different project, which is also nice. So I'm going to start so as not to make myself completely crazy. I don't know why I didn't do that before, but I'm going to start at the bottom and then just layer the elements on top so that I don't have to ruffle everything up again. And I'm going to use my tape runner instead of liquid adhesive, simply because then I can still lift a piece up and move it around if it turns out that, that it needs to be moved. So I'm just going to check if that one is, yeah, good enough. And then we can continue. Oh, thank you, Emily, and everyone else. I'm glad that you like the fringe as much as I do. And, even if I don't decide on something, I like in these YouTube lives, I like showing you different options, different ideas I have in mind, because maybe there is someone who, doesn't like the fringe as much or would like to have an idea for how to use those cards. So I think it's always nice to have or to show some options. I'm going to check because I want to make sure that I have roughly the same like width of fringe of each color showing. So I need to check real quick if I have to put them closer to each other or if that's fine. Just real quick. And I think we are good. I think that's actually pretty much perfect right now. And you could easily, even if, so this paper was kind of perfect for it because it already has these rainbow stripes on it. But you could easily just recreate this look with just regular pattern papers in different colors and just cut some stripes of those and cut a fringe into them. And then you would also have some subtle pattern. So that would, would also work. Not sure if I'm explaining myself really well, but just to show you real quick what I mean. So you could do, instead of the red one here, you could, for example, cut this one into a strip. And for the green, you could cut this one. I would use some patterns that are a little bit more subtle, nothing too crazy, maybe not this one, but this one would work really well. This one, this one. Maybe even this one. And this blue one. And you can see here, so this would also look really nice. And you could just cut the same size borders or strips of those pattern papers, or you could even use scraps you have left from some papers. Try to find some that work really nice together. Doesn't even have to be rainbow. You could use other colors. You could do ombre, whatever. And then just cut those into fringe. So you don't need a paper that actually has different stripes, different colored stripes on it. And I think that would look really nice. And now that I showed you, and now that I saw how those patterns look together, I'm thinking that I want to do it. So I might do that, after the live. I might actually make another fringy layout with the pattern papers. Who knows? And now my tape runner is empty, but now that it's the last one, I can actually use liquid adhesive because I know that I want to have it there. Like so. And I'm going to add the link to the fringe die, or the die set that the fringe die is included in to the Pinkfir Studio shop after this live session. Oh, definitely the 6x6 pad would be perfect for this. So that would look even nicer than the 12x12 papers. I completely forgot to mention, I also don't have the 6x6. So that's why I didn't show you in the beginning. But I agree, Debbie, the 6x6 would be even better for this, especially with the patterns, than the 12x12. Okay. So I really like how it looks, I have to say. It does remind me of a birthday cake as well. I thought, this would be great for, I'm getting so many ideas. This would be great for a card as well, or a layout about a birthday. And it would be perfect to combine it with the Pinkfir Studio stamp set. I don't recall the name of it right now. Maybe Heather can help. The one with the balloons, where there's also a coordinating stencil set. That would be perfect. Actually, I'm quite tempted to do that, as I said, after the live, and to combine it with the balloons as well. Because I think that would look great. Okay, so now, since, there is quite a lot of color already, I'm obviously not going to include any other pattern papers here. Maybe only at the very end, some kind of border or something. So now let's look through the embellishments. And I'm trying to see, so they're in the so this is the chipboard frames packet. But there are also some smaller chipboard stickers included that are not a frame. And I mean, this one obviously lends itself perfectly to doing some tone on tone. You could definitely mix colors. You could do it completely mixed. So like putting the pink on blue on the yellow, whatever. But this one is just, it almost screams tone on tone. So who am I to object? Yeah, Debbie, there's also a balloon washi suite, but I don't mean that one. The balloon washi suite is a little bit older, but still pretty. but there is a stamp set with coordinating stencils and dies as well, which is really, really nice and is still waiting for me to be used. But I've had it on my desk so many times already and never got around to using it. So if you're wondering why so sometimes, even though I'm not going to put a photo in here in this frame, sometimes I like having just a little bit of texture and something there. So I might add something on top, who knows? For now, I'm good with having an empty frame there. I'm trying to figure out, so this photo needs a little something so that it doesn't lie flat against the fringe. So I might pop it up on some foam adhesive, but I might, first of all, I think I'm going to glue it down to a little scrap piece of cardstock because, I mean, these were book pages. So they are a little bit more flimsy. Not flimsy, but, you know, thinner than regular pages. So let me grab a scrap. That one's good. Going to have to refill my tape runner real quick. Oh, thank you, Heather. So Heather just posted a link to the stamp set that I was talking about that I think would look or would work perfectly with this fringe design and also with this collection. I mean, it works with any collection because you can color it whatever you like, but I think it would look especially nice with these bright colors. Okay. I'm going to pop it up on some foam so that it's, you know, a little bit more similar to the height of the fringe. Oh, thank you, Susie, for joining. Even if you're late, that's totally fine. I'm happy that you made it. I keep forgetting to put some things on my desk before the live. Every time I forget something. Sometimes it's the tape, sometimes it's my scissors. I don't know. Luckily, you can't see what it looks like around me because it looks like a bomb exploded. So, yeah. But I'm guessing that's not just me. I'm guessing a lot of us are that way. But the funny thing is, even let's say I was going to make another layout, even with the same or almost the same products after this live, I would still have to clean my desk, put almost everything back to where it was or where it belongs, to have a clean desk, like clean slate, and then take everything back out and start. I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but oh, thank you, Tracy. Yeah, see, crafty desks are usually not tidy, or at least not for long. So if you're wondering why I'm ripping it up, I don't mind that the white cardstock was ripped because I'm going to put the photo on top again. but I'm trying to see if I want the photo to be flush with the fringe or if I want a little bit of distance. And I actually think I actually like it's not much. It's maybe like not even a quarter of an inch, maybe an eighth of an inch or something of distance between the two. But I don't know, I think it adds something to it. Oh, my floor looks even worse than my desk. My floor let's not talk about that. Okay, so let's see. I want some small elements that I can include, like can layer on top of the fringe or kind of have it peek out from underneath. So I think, so here are some small hearts, puffy hearts. So I'm going to include those, because they fit the colors as well. And I'm going to layer this one on top. This blue one. And then let's see. So this one, te amo, means I love you, or also te quiero, but te amo works. And I'm thinking of having something that I could add to the photos as well. So it's not like everything is going on here, but maybe something that I could add here. I kind of like this banner because it has all of the colors on it. Now, this is something I've done lots of times, but maybe it's something you didn't know. So if you're not sure about the placement of something like a puffy sticker or especially those chipboard stickers that are very sticky, I usually just cut them out from the backing sheet. So they are not sticky and I can move them around. I can see where I want to put them, if I want to put them somewhere. And then if not, I can just put them back in the package. But that way you can kind of audition the pieces, as I think Missy Whitten used to say. Okay, just checking for questions or comments. I think I'm good, but if I missed something, let me know. So let's look through the ephemera. I think there are quite a few larger pieces that obviously don't work for my layout. So I'm just going to collect the smaller pieces. Going to put the flowers to this as here as well, just so I can see if maybe I want some of them peek out from underneath. And let's see. Okay, so let's see if there's anything that I could use. So I'm trying to see if maybe I want, some florals peek out here. But I'm not sure about it, actually. I don't know. Or maybe not, at least not these ones. Maybe just a little bit. Just, tiny bit of florals. Not too much. Not too crazy. Because the fringe is already, a lot. And I don't want it to become too busy where you can't, where everything is competing for your attention. So these were just some die cuts that I had left from the, I believe it's called the Curvy Leaves die set. So I always have like a little box, a little box like this where I have, you know, die cuts, things that I stamped or stenciled and die cut that I didn't use for a project. I just keep them in here. Sometimes I keep them in the sleeve with the stamp set or whatever I used to create it with. But sometimes I also just throw it in there, and then when I start a project, or when I'm working on a project, I can just look through that little box and see if there's something that fits. Because, you know, sometimes there's something in there that I didn't think of and wouldn't have looked for in its specific set. But when I see it in the box, then it works. So I'm thinking of actually including some of these. But keep them white, or maybe stencil them, or stencil, sorry, ink blend them to fit the colors. Because I like to have some sort of, you know, leaves or flowers or whatever on my page. Well, thank you everyone for your lovely comments. I'm so glad that you're enjoying it. Yeah, so the powder tool, so what Cynthia is saying, so you could, instead of cutting the stickers out from the backing sheet, you could also use the powder tool that you would use for heat embossing and cover, or, you know, get rid of the adhesive on the back with that. But why I usually just either keep it on the backing sheet, or if it's a chipboard sticker, for example, I'm just going to show you. So let's see. I'm going to show you with this piece. So let's say I didn't know if I actually want to use it or not. I want to try it out. Then what I like to do is stick my fingernail like in there, and then I can peel off the sticky layer. It still has the same dimension. It's just the thin sticky layer that I get rid of. And then I can just, you know, put it wherever I like, try it out. And if I don't like it, then I just put it in the same, like in the package with the ephemera. So it's still with, you know, with the collection, but I can try it out without any risk of ruining my paper. And why I usually don't use the powder tool, especially not with the chipboard stickers, is that even a little bit, if you don't get rid of all of the sticky and you have some of the sticky left, these are like super sticky. And if you try to take them off again, especially off of a photo, for example, it's going to ruin your photo. So, and because I'm, you know, not the best at getting rid of these things, then I just use the cutting out. So, oh, Julie, that would be perfect. I mean, now you kind of have to make him a card, you know, just saying, and wish him happy birthday. So another thing that I had left from a different project was this die cut here that says sweet. And this is foiled. Not sure if you can see on camera, if it really shows. So this was foiled. And one thing that I wanted to mention that I just saw today is that this was made using the, let me check because I always forget the name. No, this one is just a sweet, this is a single piece. So there's a hot foil plate for this, there's a die for it. So this one, as well as, let me check, this hello and smile piece, they were made using the fancy script words hot foil plate and coordinating die. And those are currently, I think today's the last day, 30% off with the code SEND30. If you go to the Pinkfresh Studio website, you will see it. So I think these are a really great set to have. They work not only for cards, but I use them for layouts as well. So I think that's, you know, a great deal. Just wanted to mention because I just saw it a few moments ago before the live, and, you know, Thank you, Lydia. Okay. And I also have some butterflies left. These were also hot foiled. Some of them were stenciled and stamped and hot foiled. And I would love to use those. I think they would work nicely, but I don't like the different colors on it. So I might just use, I don't know. Let's see. True, I think the sweet, so this one I think is on clearance, as Heather said. I think that's just $1.50, the hot foil plate, if I'm not mistaken. And then this set here is 30% off. So I definitely wanted to mention that because that's a great deal and one of my favorite phrase sets. So I'm just trying to figure out what I could add to the right side to kind of, balance it out a little bit so that not everything is happening over here and that there's not all of the visual weight, so to speak, on this side and nothing on this side. So just trying to kind of even it out. Having a look through the puffy stickers again. And I'm going to, don't freak out. I just cut up this puffy sticker because I want to use it as a layer, just like this. It doesn't have there's no meaning behind it. There's no purpose in the sense of that I want to put a photo, but it just adds a little something. Like the tone on tone. And I'm okay with it. And I think I'm actually going to keep this chipboard piece here. It says Dia Feliz, so happy day. And I'm going to stick it down with some foam adhesive. Like so. And then adding just a drop of liquid adhesive underneath the fringe to which I adhered this piece, because you can see that it won't stay completely, I mean, I don't want it to stay flat, but still, just a drop. Oh, Roxanne, that's also a good idea to add some ribbon or twine or something, but I have to admit that, I mean, it's not that I don't have any. I probably have way too much, but I don't want to rummage through all of my stash right now, but I might have a look through it later. Let's see. Trying to figure out if I want the leaves there, but I don't want to stay the way that I want them to. Whatever. Going to leave it at that for now. So my problem right now is that I have a lot of pieces in a pink that work, but I don't have so much for the other colors. All those two hearts work, see? That's nice. And I might have to move this pink heart so that you can see it again. Oh, I always like tone on tone embellishing. It just always looks good, but I always feel a little bit bad doing tone on tone embellishing, especially in a YouTube video or a YouTube live, because I don't want to say that you can't learn anything from it. That's not true, but sometimes I feel like, I want to show something different. But then again, it just works so well. So what are you gonna do? I really do like the white leaves. I think they kind of bring those two things together, kind of like a bracket, but without being too in your face, too prominent. And they add another bit of movement. So yeah, I think they work nicely. And I might get away with, you know, having some of the flowers maybe in there. Let's see. So these are also some leftovers. And I also have this one. I love this one, but it's quite large. But I was thinking of, you know, if maybe I could cut it up and use just part of it. But I don't think it works for this. So this was from the Nothing But the Best set, one of my favorite floral sets from Pinkfir Studio. Well, that makes me happy that you are saying that you always learn something. That's nice to hear. Because that's the goal of, you know, the lives, that you also learn something. And sometimes I fear that, or I don't know, sometimes it's just that I hope that you take something away from it, that you feel like it was worth the time that you invested watching this. So, you know, I always try to come up with something useful. But obviously you never know what people will find useful and respond to. Nope. So here's more or less the same banner, but in as paper from the ephemera pack. Maybe I could. So this one says recuerdo favorito, so a favorite memory. So I'm thinking of, because it's almost the same, or it's the same font as this one, I'm thinking of maybe including it on the right side so that there's another piece that connects those two sides. But I'm just trying to figure out if there's a place where I could put it without covering my photo up too much. Maybe like this. And maybe have the banner stick out from underneath. So I have, so that way, or wait, and then, you know, adding in the leaves in a nicer way. I'm just putting them there for now. So that way you have three things that connect the two sides, or actually four things. So one is these two pieces, because you have the same font and almost the same size. You have two things that are similar. Then this banner here repeats all of the colors in here. Then you have the leaves on both sides. And then the other thing that connects those two sides is that they are the same size. So the photo strips is the same size as the fringe part. So that's four things in total that kind of are mimicked on each side so that they feel like they belong together. Well, Julie, now you really don't have an excuse anymore for not making your husband a fringe birthday card. I mean, you have the fringe die, you haven't used it, you saw this, you got to do it. There's no way around it. Okay, so now I'm happy with that. I'm going to stick this banner piece down. But let's see, because I don't want it to be too long, peeking out from underneath the phrase, like so. Yeah, that works. I'm just adding some foam adhesive to the phrase die cut. Well, that's nice to hear, Emily, that that we, that these lives give you the confidence to try some things and to practice things, because that's, the whole reason behind them. Okay, so I'm going to add some of the leaves. So I have some that were cut from white cardstock, and I also have a few that were cut from vellum. They always look really nice because they are even more subtle, but they add a little something without being too distracting or too overwhelming in a project. And again, I'm going to link all of the other products that I used or that I referred to in this live session, like the stem set that I just showed you, or the fringe die and everything. I'm going to link that in the description below after this live session so that you can refer to that if you are looking for something, if you want to check out those things. Oh, Jennifer, that's not a problem. That's the nice thing about these. There's always a replay. So absolutely no problem if you missed the beginning. Okay, I think these leaves are actually, no, some of them I have to stick down. And what I always do with those leaves is, let's see if we have, there's one with cardstock. So you see that there's a die cut opening in between those, in the center of those leaves. So I always take my finger, put it on top, and then with my two fingers underneath, so the thumb and the middle finger, I kind of push the leaf up so that you get this dimension. And because there's this opening, it goes really, really easily, but it adds some dimension and they don't look so flat and so, And then I'm going to add a little foam adhesive at one point. Oops. So I can never have, or maybe not never, but I always like dimension on my projects. Let me check the comments or the chat real quick if I missed any questions. It is the curvy leaves die, yes. And yes, you have to try them in vellum. And it's also, I think, one of my most used accent dies. It's a must-have. I'm not sure if I checked a few days ago. I didn't see it in the shop. I'm not sure if it's in the shop right now, if it's available, but it should be, or it should be soon. Because yeah, that die shouldn't go anywhere, I think. So I'm just trying to see if I might want to include one of the words that I had left. This one would actually be perfect because I foiled it in pink. It would be nice if I had foiled it in blue or something, because I need something up here. But anyway, I didn't. Okay, so let's see. if I want to add any of the other die cuts. No. That one's no. So that one I am going to add, that says unique and special, which he is. So it fits. So I don't want to overdo it with the embellishments on the left. I mean, there are not a lot, but still, I feel like if there's too much text or something, then it just kind of distracts a little bit. Oops. And trying to figure out if I want to have the flowers peek out from underneath here or not. Maybe. I'm going to keep it here for a second. And in that time, I'm going to check if I missed anything. So let's see. I looked through all of the chipboard stickers. There are not any that I want to add anymore. The puffy stickers as well. I'm not going to add the title stickers because they're quite large and also they, are in a different color. So, and I'm fine with having just these small things instead of a large title. I don't always need a really large title. And I completely forgot about the cardstock stickers. So yeah, just having a quick look through those, if there's anything that, might work with the other colors. No, don't like that. No, I think I'm good. Actually, I am considering using this at the bottom, even though it's not tone on tone as such, but it repeats some of the colors. I'm not sure about that one. I didn't stick it down completely. It's just, it just lies there. I will keep it there for a second. And until I made up my mind about this and about the flowers, I will look through my enamel dots and add a few of those because, I can't not do it. And I'm also going to have a look through, even though we shouldn't mix collections right at the beginning, but I am going to cheat just a little bit and bring in the puffy stickers from the simple things because, I mean, look at them. They are just perfect. They add the little, perfect little something something. So Heather, you didn't see it. I'm just adding a few things here and there. Again, tone on tone, trying to get the colors matched up as best as I can. And I am almost done. So great timing. I have a few minutes left, but no need to rush. This time I am actually really good on time. I don't remember the last time that I was this close to finishing a layout. So I really love mixing and matching collections. For example, when I prepare my workshop kits for my in-person workshops, I always mix collections and sometimes even manufacturers, because I don't know, to me, that's part of the fun is actually coming up with the kits with the combinations. But obviously in those lives, especially when a collection is new, we should show you what you can do with this collection in particular, because of course we should give people an idea what they can do with the collection if they bought it or if they want to buy it. But I love mixing and matching, especially things like this. So like small puffy stickers or enamel dots, you know, there's always something that works from a different collection. So let's see if I can maybe use up or at least some of the enamel dots I have left from older collections. So this one is from Sunshine on My Mind, also a Cassidy Demphoff collection. So you can see this pink one. This pink works really well, but this is too high. That's too much up in the yellow area. And we don't want that. So I did cheat a little, or not cheat, but you can see that up here I did use the puffy stickers in different colors, and it's not tone on tone. I mean, here there is no tone really, but since there are all of the colors in the banner piece here, I feel like it's okay to use the different colors up here. And I'm going to try and include one piece for almost every color in the banner. So I still need something in this blue. And then I think I'm almost good to go. I'm so happy you say that, Tracy, because that's something, so these mini puffies, that was something that I really, really wanted to have in my collection. When we were designing it, when we were talking about all of the embellishments that should make up the collection, I said that I want like at least half a sheet of really small puffy stickers in just like icons, like hearts, stars, things like that, that you could scatter around on a page, and just so you have the perfect little accent. So yeah. And I'm happy that, you know, Kinnery said, let's do it. Okay, so how do I feel about this piece down here? I think I'm going to keep it. I feel like when I take it away, I feel like there's something missing. So that's always a good sign for me to keep something. If once I take it away, I feel like now it looks a bit empty. So let me just grab a piece of scrap paper. Because I want the, I want to be able to put this on a bit of foam adhesive. So first I'm going to stick it to some scrap cardstock to give it a little bit more heft, I think it's called. And so it is easier to pop it up on some foam adhesive. I do like that. Oh yes, my wish list is really, really long as well. Especially, you know, I am trying to get more into card making. And there are just so many great products. I mean, of course, you can use lots of the Pinkfur Studio card making products for scrapbooking as well, which a lot of the design team members do. And I feel like, they do a great job. But seeing all of the beautiful cards that the card design team members create really makes me, want to give it a go. So we need to peel off all of the backing. Going to stick that down. Going to make sure that the center is also where the center of the two elements is, with a little bit of a distance. And looks good to me. Now let's see how I feel about the flowers. Nope. See? And this time I don't feel like there's something missing. It looked nice. It didn't look wrong or anything, but to me it doesn't look now that there's something missing. So to me that means that I don't need to put it there. So I'm going to put one blue, and now I have not all of the colors, but I have yellow, a little bit of orange, red, some sort of minty green, the pink, and some blue. So I have most of the colors from the left side repeated up here. And one final thing that I want to see if I want some sort of border or something. This looks nice as well, I think. Maybe something like this to the left and right. Let's try it. Not sure if it's going to be too much on the left side. We will see, Heather, if I move over to the dark side. Roxanne, so I haven't made a card as such with a photo, but if you check my blog, for what was it? Last year, one release with Christmas products, card making Christmas products. I did like card pockets, so you could slide in photos, but they were made like Christmas cards, were made to look like Christmas cards, but they were actually pockets that you could slide a photo in. So that was kind of a combination of the two. I think that looks nice. but just like really, really thin. So not much, just to give it a little something, something. So I'm going to cut off. How much? Let's see. Maybe, sorry if I have to put my head up in here for a second. So 0.5 centimeter, which is somewhere in between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to cut off from the left and the right side. You can see it's really just a sliver, not much. And I will see if so this was on the right side. Let's see if I only want it on the right side or if I want it on the left and the right. I think I need a new blade. No, I think I need it on the left and the right because now it feels like it's not balanced anymore. Because we have lots of things that were sort of mirrored, and now I have this one thing that's just on one side. And that's going to irk me. Okay, so again, between 1/4 and 1/8 of an inch. I do like it on the right. It has something, but then again, with all of the other things that are, as I said, sort of mirrored, it feels like it's unbalanced. If there were more things that were exclusive, so to speak, to one side, then I think it wouldn't be such a problem for me. Just need to cut off a little bit because I really need a new blade. Yes, I do like that. So let's see, I need something to make it 12 by 12. So I'm going to put this down here. Just going to stick it down so it doesn't move around while I'm trying to adhere it to my layout. Well, that wasn't very clever. And one thing, so this is also something you might not, most people might not even notice it, maybe just the person that made it, but you can see that this way the stripes don't coincide. So you start with pink and here you start with yellow. So I'm going to make sure that I have them the same way up or the same direction on both sides so that it looks like the stripes are continued behind the white cardstock, if you know what I mean. Or maybe you just think that I'm a crazy person, so. Oh, and one thing, if you enjoyed this video, I would, of course, love it if you gave it a thumbs up so that, in the future, more people will find this video by, when it's recommended to them or something. So if you enjoyed it, I'm always happy about a thumbs up. Everything's empty. Everything needs replacement here. I need new tape, a new blade, tape runner, everything. This tape is really giving me a hard time here. Okay, look at that. We are almost done, and I'm almost done. So give me 2 more minutes to add this tape, to add my borders, and then I can show you the actual finished layout. Maybe just, I might add a little bit of journaling somewhere. I'm not sure about that yet. But I don't think that I'm going to add a lot more, or maybe not even anything to it anymore. So I'm not sure if that's a first that I managed to finish a layout to this extent in a live. Okay, so now see, I already moved my mat again. I think it's the, being close to finished excitement. Okay. So going to line up my layout at the top. And you can see it's really not much that peeks out from behind of those strips. But I think it's enough to make a difference. I tell you, it's like almost done and then everything starts to go wrong. Anyway, so I only need to cut off a sliver here. Just a tiny bit of excess. So I might add, the only thing I think I'm going to add or might add is a little bit of machine stitching just along the border here and here in white, and that's it. And I think it was a good addition. I think it looked nice without it, but I think it also looks nice with it. So, I think there wasn't a wrong way to do it. So this is the finished layout. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I will post photos of the finished project in the Facebook group and on my Instagram and everything, so you can see all of the details. And then we have a winner. Let me first switch my camera so that I can actually talk to you. Okay, so our winner for today's gift card is Cindy Thompson. Congratulations, Cindy. You won the $15 gift card. All you have to do to claim your prize is email Leah, L-E-A, at pinkfreshstudio.com to claim it, and give her 2 to 3 days to get back to you, and then have fun shopping. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. As I said, if you liked it, I would love a thumbs up, and I hope to see you again in 4 weeks. So in 2 weeks, it's going to be Natalie with you. And in 4 weeks, it's going to be me again. And then next week, of course, there's also going to be a card making live video. So yeah, I think that's it from me. Thank you, everyone for joining me. Thank you, Heather. And yeah, I'm happy that I was able to enable some of you for putting a few things in your card. And then I will see you again next time. Have a great day, everyone. Take care. Bye.